Hello everyone, and welcome to the channel. In today's video, we'll be taking a tour of the Midwest Railroad route, from iconic locations like Rochelle to structures and locations being planned. Let's dive in. We start our tour of the Midwest Railroad in Iowa, along the original double-track main line starting in the farthest west portion of the route. That is the town of West Point. This location is entirely fantasy and is not based on a real location in Iowa or Illinois. This part of the route was originally going to be part of a short line that used smaller locomotives like the SW7 or GP9. However, as is clear today, this is not what it became. Most of the trains in the Midwest Railroad trailer were recorded either at or near West Point. Immediately east of West Point, we see the West Point River, which the town is named after. The railroad crosses over it heading east, as well as a two-lane highway that runs parallel to the tracks. Continuing eastward, we approach a farm that is on the southern side of the tracks. The gravel driveway crosses the tracks here to connect to the road. We continue to see some more fields heading east, until we reach the city. This location was originally named Rockford, after Rockford, Illinois, but after further building of the route, I dropped a name for it, so I now refer to it as just the city. A lot of you will probably recognize this location from a Day at the Double Track video that featured a lot of the city in the first quarter of the video. As we continue eastward, you'll notice on the northern side of the tracks the abandoned cooling tower featured in the first time-lapse video of the route building. There's nothing much more for some distance other than some farms and fields, till we reach another small town similar to West Point. This town, however, does not have a name, so if you want to suggest a name for it, let me know down in the comments. Nothing much other than fields as we continue east, and then we see the cliffs and hills near the Mississippi River. The first thing you'll notice is the ridiculously proportioned hills and cliffs right next to the tracks and road. You'll also see the western shore trackage of the CPKC heading southward, with also to the south a lighthouse. Continuing east, we cross the longest bridge as of 2024 on the Midwest Road, crossing the Mississippi River. And once reaching the eastern shore, we see to the south a small carnival with hot air balloons, a roller coaster, and some smaller rides and stands. We also arrive at our first town in the state of Illinois, Savannah, where the east-west double-track main line crosses over the north-south ones that run along the Mississippi Valley. We'll pause our journey east here to check out the BNSF and CPKC tracks heading north and south. Heading north along the BNSF tracks, we see the tall cliff sides on the right side, with the Mississippi River on the left. There's nothing much here at the moment other than a house on the Mississippi side and a small lagoon with a water wheel a little further north. The same can be said for the CPKC trackage heading north and south. Heading south along the BNSF trackage, there's mostly fields. However, there is a farm with a gravel driveway that crosses the tracks, and this main line eventually crosses over the Union Pacific trackage that goes through Rochelle. Other than that, there's not really much else further south. We now resume our journey east. Our next location is the Oregon Sand Industry. I haven't really record around here, but I do have plans to record some rail fanning and switching operations here. Our next stop is the Oregon Depot, which is one of the more well-known locations west of Rochelle. I've both rail fanned the actual location, and I've rail fanned quite a bit here for train requests. Continuing east, we then cross the Rock River. This area is a little more detailed with plant growth and has some wildlife including eagles and deer. And now we arrive in Rochelle, probably the most recognizable location on the entire route. This area has had probably the largest number of trains both normally recorded and requested to run through here. Still a favorite location of mine, and more is definitely going to be done in this area. To the east outside of Rochelle is the Industrial Park, where the Burlington Junction Railway operates and the former DuPont Chariot manufacturing complex is located. The tracks now curve southward and pass underneath Interstate 88, and head south for quite a long distance. There's nothing much here other than fields, one road bridge crossing over the tracks, and a grade crossing a little further south. We then arrive at another town that is built around the rail line. This town doesn't have a name, so if you want to name the town, let me know down in the comments. The tracks now turn east again, and just south of the tracks is an unnamed lumber mill, while on the northern side is a cattle industry. Continuing east, we mostly see more fields, while on the north side we see some warehouses and a small restaurant. Continuing east, the tracks then turn northeastward, and we enter Aurora, Illinois. Located here is the BNSF Aurora Intermodal Yard, and the Metro terminus. The intermodal yard is located on the south side of the tracks, while the Metro yard is located on the north side. The tracks then turn back eastward and we continue for Aurora. Our first station on the route is the Route 59 station. I don't have much to say about this area, other than it was cool to work on. We continue east and finally reach the industrial rail zone that runs north-south underneath the BNSF mainline. This area includes 2 different power plants, a hide pulp mill, and a north-south canal. On the eastern side of the bridge is the eastbound power lines and the power plants. On the north side of the tracks is a water treatment plant, while on the south side are some apartment buildings and warehouses. And finally, we have reached Naperville. This location will probably be best known for its appearance in the final half of A Day at the Triple Track. Please note that this is not at all like the real-life Naperville station. It does not have the DuPage Children's Museum on the south side, and on the route here it is only double track and not triple track like in real life. A little bit outside of Naperville, and we see that the double track main line finally becomes triple track. We continue east and reach another station. This one is named Wooddale and is not based on any actual station on the BNSF racetrack. A little further east and we see the tracks turn southeast, and the next station is also a fantasy stop named St. Mary. This location gets its name from the St. Mary water tower I used here from the CN Hollysub DLC. We continue southeast until the tracks turn directly east again. There's some sunken landscape where the tracks go over a bridge with a road heading south running underneath. Further east and we encounter another station, this time a combination of both fantasy and real life. This station is based on an actual metro station, however I named it after the nearby Burlington Park, so the station is named Burlington Station. We continue east with suburban housing having been done on the north and south side of the tracks, and now reach Lisle. This is based on the Lisle station that is west of the Belmont station. The tracks then turn southeastward for a short period of time, until finally turning eastward at the Belmont station. The tracks now continue eastward and we finally reach probably the most iconic location on my YouTube channel, the Downers Grove Main Street Station. A lot of you will recognize this location from almost all of my rail fan videos of the BNSF racetrack. The next station is the Fairview Station, located just east of Main Street Station. I don't have much to say here other than it is the beginning of trying to match the route up with real life via using Google Earth. We continue east to Westmont. Not really much has been done here other than the station, a small number of buildings, and the grade crossing. We continue east until the tracks turn slightly northeastward and we reach Clarendon Hills Station. I finally actually modeled the road network as I have seen on Google Earth, and I think it turned out okay. The next station is West Hinsdale. Not much has been done here other than the station and roads. Hinsdale is next, and there is a lot more detail here compared to West Hinsdale. Still a lot more is planned here. The next station is Highlands, which just like Hinsdale has some detail, but will definitely be getting more. The last station so far down the Midwest Railroad is Western Springs, pretty much the same as West Hinsdale, where it's only the station and road network. And that concludes the tour of the Midwest Railroad route, and now I'll be going over the future of this route. First thing first, we'll be having the BNSF racetrack go all the way to Chicago Union Station. Afterwards, I'll begin to focus more work on the Union Pacific line, also heading to Chicago. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, subscribe, share, and to hit the bell icon so you won't miss out on more content like this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time.